What is up, my dudes? Donald John here, coming back at you with my combo tutorial on my Despia deck, guys. I did promise you guys, and yeah, here it is, guys. But real quick, I do kind of want to show you my deck list, only because I made just a tiny bit changes here and there. You know, I'm always going to make changes here and there regardless as time goes by, regarding if it's meta or if I want to change it just because I find, you know, certain lists a little bit more consistent. But yeah. Let me just, without further ado, guys, let me just briefly just go through this, and I am going to show you my side deck too. Some of you guys are curious, even though sides change a lot. So, you know, just don't keep, you know, if you guys do use this, especially on a tournament, and you use my deck list as a side, and you use my side, just be wary that, you know, it's not going to work all the time, because every place is different, and you got to consider the fact that everywhere you go, it's just everyone's playing different, you know. They're like, yeah, it's either meta, half rogue. I mean, just consider that, okay? But yeah, my side deck, I run it specifically for my tournament here. So, but yeah, here's my deck list real quick. Triple Aluber, pretty self-explanatory, followed by the double Despian Tragedy. Don't run 3 because to me it's a brick, but if you want to, go for it. This card's still good. 1 Adlib. 2 is good. Sometimes I do miss the 2, but 1 honestly is perfect, and so far it's run perfectly fine for me. So one's cool. 1 Dramaturge. Don't a lot of people are sleeping on this card so much. This card's another reason why I actually won a lot of my matches. This card's insane. The fact that it doesn't care about if your opponent summons or you summon from extra deck. Just the fact that whatever just comes out in the extra deck, just in general, it could just trigger its effect. So this card's just beautiful, man. I mean, come on, guys, don't sleep on Dramaturge like that. This card it deserves a lot much respect, and plus it's my favorite Despian card, so I'm always gonna run Dramaturge regardless. But yeah, so that's it for my Despian package. Triple Fallen of Albaz, followed with the 2 Albion. I don't know why people are saying about this either. 2 is not a brick. You could literally unbrick your hand with just having 1. I mean, obviously 3 is a brick, but I want to see, sometimes there's times where you do want to see one of these. Only because if you, they negate Branded, right? Branded Fusion, which does happen a lot, especially if your opponent knows if you're playing Despians, right? Or Despias. It happens. I mean, it's going to happen. You activate Branded Fusion, they're going to Ash it. But if you do have this combination of Albion, and let's say you have Branded in red, right? You can still bring Mirror Jade out, because Albion's going to dump the Fallen of Albaz, Branded in red's going to add the Fallen of Albaz from your grave back to hand, and then you're just going to Fusion Summon from there. And you're still going to get the Mirror Jade, so it's insane, guys. Sometimes I do this first before I activate Branded Fusion, just to show them that regardless, I am going to just use it, you know? I'm going to summon Mirror Jade regardless of what you do, but yeah, 2 has run perfectly fine with me. 1 Macarrier. I decided to actually put this guy back. I mean, I had play tested 3, 2, and 1. And I had took it out. I'm guessing because, I guess you can say I didn't know how to run him properly. Because every single time I try decks out, you know, I test them out, I go to tournaments and all that. I guess the understanding of the reason why people run it, I guess I didn't know how to use it properly, if that makes sense. I mean, sometimes people look at the card and they just say, come on, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a hand trap, and then it's also could bring an Albaz. And that's cool and all. I guess I didn't run it at the time because I didn't know the different, you know, synchronizations, if that makes sense, of the combos that you can utilize with this card is actually insane. Brandon Lost can search it, and then you have a free hand trap from there. So, I mean, it's a good card, and I might actually consider bumping this up to 2, but we'll see where it goes from there. Again, I'm going to keep changing my deck list, but as of right now, I mean, you know, this card's really good. It's really busted. So, yeah, 1 Macarrier is actually pretty insane. A double Edge of Chain, followed by the double Patchwork and the double Poly. So, 2, 2, 2. I do have the 3rd one. I decided not to run the 3rd one because I don't want to see I just don't want to see a 2 in my hand. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, but Daniel John, you can literally discard one of them if one of them becomes, you know, brick. I mean, you kind of need triple Patchwork. For me, I mean, and you can if you go ahead. I mean, it's your deck. You can do what you want. But for me, I mean, I've been finding this a lot more successful just with 2. I mean, but who knows? Maybe in the future I will bump this up to 3. But as you know, for Edge of Chain, I'm gonna keep it at 2 regardless, because yeah, I don't want to see 3. But yeah, and then for the spells, I mean, we're gonna continue on the spells. Triple branded opening, followed by the triple branded fusion. Pretty self-explanatory. Don't really need to explain this these cards, guys. I mean, yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Double branded in red with the 1 branded loss. I mean, come on, guys. Who doesn't love Magical Meltdown? I know it works differently, but this card's really, really good. And it searches an Albaz, like, come on. Or any card that associates with Albaz. Triple Allure Darkness. Self-explanatory. 1 Foolish with 1 Gold Sarcophagus. You know, this card is just nuts, guys. I mean, before I used it just with Tragedy, but now you have options to use this with Tragedy or Macarrier. I mean, yeah, I love this card. 1 Called By. You know, I hate hand traps, I hate Ash. I want to use my branded fusion, you know. Triple Dark Ruler No More, followed by the triple Super Poly and the 1 branded Banishment. Who doesn't love board breakers? And this card just insane. I mean, again, you could take this card out. This card sometimes works for, I guess sometimes works, sometimes doesn't, but this card works for me as of right now. So I mean, yeah, I love it. But yeah. As of right now, this deck is at 41, okay? Only because I did, again, like I did put the Albion at 1, but I mean, I just love this card, so that's why I put it at 2. But you could, if you want to, you could take this card out and just have it at 1, and it's a perfect 40. But yeah, a double Albion, I just love that card, so yeah, so 41. And then now for, you know, the extra deck real quick. Titanic Clad, I'm going to show you guys this combo, so yeah, just stay tuned. Triple Albion, you know, the reason why I run 3, because I know a lot of people run 2. I like to run 3 just to have, you know, more access, you know, just to, like, I guess, to keep playing, just to continue my plays, only because depending on the matchups, your opponents are just always going to get rid of something, always going to negate something from grave, and it's going to be kind of hard to kind of go longer game, because if your opponent wants to go long game, cool, I can go long game too, because you know I have 3, you know, like basically you're never gonna run out. So yeah, triple Albion, the 2 Lebellion, and then you know the 2 Mirror Jade. Pretty self-explanatory lineup here. I don't think I need to explain this. Mirror Jade's just nuts. Despian package to Masquerade, and then the 1 Cordis. My bad, guys, if I butchered the name. I'm still trying to get the names right. And then the 1 Proskenion. I think I said that right. Finally. But yeah, really good cards. I think I explained in my other video. If you guys want to, you know, hear me out, just go ahead and check my other video, guys. And then my Super Poly target, my new Super Poly target, I did take out the Mud Dragon, or I think it was a Mud Dragon, or I forgot what I had, but yeah, I just took whatever card I had. This card is just really, really good, especially, you know, not in this format. So yeah, the 1 Drago Stapelia, really good card, pretty self-explanatory, and then the 1 Guardian Chimera. I don't need to run 2 for many different reasons. I mean, this card is just really, really good. But yeah, basically your whole extra deck is a Super Poly target. Just letting you guys know. And then my side deck, because you guys were curious. So yeah, here's my side deck. Let's start with the traps, or yeah, let's start with the monsters, because everyone always starts with the monsters, right? Double Kaiju. You know, just I know guys don't. They're like, what? But yeah, I run double Kaiju. You know, it's a dark. You know, for a lure target, but also just to get around those monsters that I can't get around with, or I'm having troubles getting around with. This card's actually been proven to be helpful, especially if they end up with a big board, or they end up with the negate. Sometimes I get rid of that negate, and then, you know, kind of like fusion summon this with Super Poly, or, you know, just depends. Honestly, it just depends. But there's a lot of times I don't side this in. But I mean, so far, I'd say I have been using this card here and then, not too much, but it does come up. So I mean, I might be taking these cards out, honestly, but as of right now, I mean, so far it's working quite a bit, but yeah. Triple DD Crow. I mean, self-explanatory, especially in today's format. You know, no one likes tier elements, so yeah, triple DD Crow. 2 Cosmics with 1 Harpies. I hate Mystic Mine. I think everybody hates Mystic Mine. Yeah, I think everybody hates Mystic Mine, so this is this for Mystic Mine hate, and other cards too, like Outlet or whatever is out there, right? 1 red reboot. Guys, I mean, I don't think I need to explain this. This is like in every side deck now. I mean, if you don't run red reboot in a side deck, then I don't know what you're doing. Triple Dimensional Barrier, really good card. I love this card. Yeah, I don't think I need to explain too much there. Triple, there only could be 1. This has stopped a lot of my opponents, and there's times where they couldn't do anything. You could cut this to 2 and you'll still see it. Surprisingly, you'll still see it. I mean, I still seen it, but the third one kind of like reassures me that I have it. But yeah, the side deck does change a lot, guys, like a lot. It just depends, you know, just depends. My side deck does change a lot. And now you could actually, because I've been actually wanting to add, Eradicator. And honestly, like I might actually do that because Eradicator is really, really good. I mean, your whole extra deck's basically 25 and up, so yeah. All right, so that's it for the deck list, guys, real quick, and yeah, just thank you for staying tuned, guys. So let me just show you the Titanic Clad. All right, so to get this guy out and to make him 4,100 is, pretty simple. All you would need is obviously, let's say, an Aluber. You don't even need an Aluber. You just need either an Aluber or a Branded Fusion, or any way to search a Branded Fusion, honestly. But honestly, it's just the Branded Fusion. I'm gonna make it really simple. So I'll just do Branded Fusion, and then I'll use the call by for discard, because you're gonna need discard. So all you gotta do is use Branded Fusion, right? Okay, use this like this. So Branded Fusion, you're gonna activate. All you're gonna do is you're gonna send your Albaz, Fallen of Albaz, to grave, and you're gonna send your Albion. So you're gonna send these 2. All right, you're gonna send those 2, and those 2 are gonna make, since they're both darks, you're gonna make your Lubellion. Now Lubellion's gonna activate. It's gonna discard a card, which in this case is called by. So we discard a card, and let me just put that there so you guys know it's just a hand. You're gonna discard a card, and his effect will resolve. Shuffling him, and you're gonna want to shuffle your Albion. Okay, so you're gonna shuffle these 2 because Albion does act as Fallen of Albaz and Grave, so that's why it works. Okay, so you shuffle these 2 back, and then you make your Titanic Clad. And now the fact that you shuffle 2 8s, because Albion and Lubellion, they're both 8s. 8 plus 8 is 16. So 1,600, you add it to the 25, and that'd be 41. So he'll be 41, and he's unaffected by monsters that are special from the extra deck. So it's really, really good, and he becomes beefy, can get around a lot of problematic cards. And if anything, you have another Fallen of Albaz engraved, just in case you have like any other plays or any other cards in your hand that kind of requires Fallen of Albaz to be engraved, which does happen. So, but yeah, Titanic Clad is really, really good, and just to, I guess if you want to too, he could actually push for game, or like if you're running out of time and you need a monster that your opponent can't really respond to, this is a great way to actually do that. So but yeah, I mean, Titanic Clad is, this combo right here, you get around big beaters. But yeah, that's a simple combo, guys. But yeah, Titanic Clad, that's how you get them out. I mean, there's many ways. You just don't need, I mean, obviously you just don't need Branded Fusion. You can use Branded Red or other fusion cards, and you can still get Titanic Clad out, just as long as you having a Albion and Lubellion, you just bring those 2 out just to make him. So, but yeah. And now for this, I do want to show you one more, just in case some of you guys aren't really familiar with this. I'm pretty sure a lot of you are, so if you guys are, cool, but for those that don't know, I'm going to show you guys this other combo. So let me see. Let's see. So for this, we're going to use a Luber and a discard. Now in this case, it'll be called by. So he's going to be called by. But yeah, so all you got to do is summon a Luber, right? A Luber is going to add your Branded Fusion. Branded Fusion is going to activate, sending your Fallen of Albaz. So this is all organized. So Fallen of Albaz and your Despia Tragedy. All right. So it's going to send these 2. Alright, you're gonna send those two. And then you're gonna be making your Lobelion. Lobelion's gonna activate for cost. So you're gonna activate his first. So he's gonna activate. You're gonna discard for cost, right? And in this case, Lobelion will be chain 1. Okay. And then Tragedy will be chain 2, okay? So Tragedy chain 2, or you can do it the other way, whichever way you want. And also depends on who you're playing against. A lot of times it's not going to be chain 1, chain 2. Sometimes you actually kind of might want to actually search your deck for a Despia card, depending on the matchup and everything. You might want to do 1 and 2. It just depends if you don't really care about Lobelion being negated, or if you have another fusion card. So sometimes that does happen. But in this case, we're going to do Lobelion 1, Tragedy 2. Okay. So Tragedy is going to resolve. It's going to search your Ablib. And it's very important for this particular combo. You can search for Ablib. Alright. And then after you search this out, the Lobelion's going to activate, shuffling your Fallen of Albaz and your Albion. And then you're going to bring out your Mirror Jade. Okay, you're going to bring out your Mirror Jade. And in this case, you're gonna activate Mirror Jade to send one of your fusion monsters from your extra deck. In this case, it'll be Albion. So you're gonna send Albion from your extra deck to the graveyard to banish your Aluber. Okay. So Mirror Jade sends 1 to banish Aluber. Okay. In this case, we'll banish Aluber. Now, a lot of people are probably asking, why would you do that? Like, now you can't activate Mirror Jade during your opponent's turn. Why would you do that? And I'll show you why. So end phase, right? Albion will resolve, setting Brandon in red. I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory for those of you that know, but those of you that don't, this is kind of a cool concept to know. So you're gonna set Brandon in red. Okay. Your opponent's turn, whatever your opponent summons a monster, does something, and you will kind of want to be like, okay, this is a perfect time to kind of disrupt their plays. You activate Brandon in red. Brandon in red will add the Tragedy back from your grave to hand. Okay, and then you're gonna fusion summon by banishing the materials, right? So we're gonna banish all these 3. We're gonna banish these 3 monsters, right? We're gonna banish them to resolve the Brandon in red. And then we're gonna bring out Chimera. Now, we're gonna resolve the effects this way, okay? We're gonna go Chimera 1. We're gonna go Ablib 2. And we're gonna go Tragedy 3, okay? So just so you guys know, Chimera will be 1, Ablib 2, Tragedy 3, okay? And the reason why, because we want to make sure we bring out the Mirror Jade, okay? We don't really care about the search, but if they don't have anything, then the search is gonna be great. So Tragedy, you're gonna add. Now it depends at this point, like whatever you have in your hand or field or whatever. But in this case, if you want to do a follow-up play on your next turn, it's a Luber. If you have other cards to fusion summon during their turn, and you could utilize your hand, you can just search for Dramaturge. There's sometimes I do one or the other. It just depends on what you have, honestly. But yeah, so a Luber. In this case, I'll add a Luber. Don't really matter what you add. So, and then you'll do Adlib, bring out the Mirror Jade, and then Chimera will draw 2. Doesn't matter what 2 they are. I'm just gonna put them blank. So in this case, you have a follow-up play, and you have 2 random cards, and then you get to pop 1, okay? Because you have used Mirror Jade. So now in this case, you can still banish your opponent's monsters with Mirror Jade. Why? Because Adlib basically reset your monster, so it's a new monster. Because Mirror Jade said this card, so this card can't use its effect, right? But since we got rid of this card and we brought it back, it's a totally new special summon monster. So you are able to actually activate Mirror Jade's effect again. So that's why it's really, really good to kind of know if you don't know. I mean, you can banish your opponent's monster at this point, and you have a follow-up play and you drew 2 cards, and you have Guardian Chimera. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's all for that. And alright guys, so I'm going to show you some test hands here, because I know a lot of people are like, your deck kind of looks bricky or whatnot. But I'm going to show you that it's not, in most cases. So yeah, I'm going to shuffle this. Show you how I am shuffling the top, because a lot of players, some think that, some other players that tend to get away with it. But yeah, but look, see, I'm shuffling it all, yada yada. Okay. And now, you know, most of the time, you kind of want to go second. I know, right? Surprisingly, only because you have board breakers. But you know, a lot of times you kind of want to go first. So, I mean, real quick. And yeah. So, I mean, this is a first or second hand. I mean, at this point, I mean, if we went second, let's see. Oh yeah. So, I mean, super poly. You got, you know, Fight for Patchwork, branded opening. I mean, you guys kind of know what to do from here, right? I mean, I'm assuming those of you that do use it. If not, I guess, let's see, we use patchwork, you know, just to kind of bait them out. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You don't really need the polymerization, only because of the fact you have branded opening. You basically have everything here. Honestly, you have everything here. So, fight for patchwork. You know, if they have a hand trap, cool. If not, we're just going to resolve it like they don't have anything. Just to kind of show you guys, you know, just kind of show you guys the potential, I guess, of this hand. So we're going to add both the polymerization and the edge up chain. Okay. And then, since we have these two, we're going to activate a branded opening. You could discard the edge up chain, or you can discard the tragedy. I'm going to discard the tragedy because it's not cost. So discard it, special summon where's your guy? Your Albion. Aluber, my bad, not Albion. You're going to special summon your Aluber, and then Aluber's effect's going to activate, adding your branded fusion. Okay. I'm going way too fast here, my bad, guys. So we bring out Aluber, and then we're going to do chain 1, chain 2, right? So since we sent tragedy, we're going to chain 1 Aluber, chain 2 tragedy. Tragedy is going to add your one and only ad lib. Now, a lot of times, like I said, I don't usually go for this sometimes. Sometimes I go for dramaturge. It just depends. And honestly, it just depends. But in this case, we'll do ad lib. And then Aluber will get branded fusion, okay? It's funny because this is like a really good hand. There's times even when you could unbreak your brick, so. Okay, and then we'll do branded fusion. All right, we're gonna send our materials. Now you're like, okay, what are you gonna send now? So I'm gonna send, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Albaz, we're gonna do Albaz. We're gonna send Albaz. And we're gonna send Dramaturge. Either way, they're all coming out, right? So we're gonna bring out your Lebellion. Okay. And then Lebellion's gonna activate, discarding your Edge of Chain. Okay. And then, oh my bad, I forget. Then Dramaturge will come out. So we fusion summon for Lebellion, right? So we go 1 and then 2 Dramaturge. Dramaturge will come out, and then we'll use Albion, shuffling Albion, and then we'll shuffle the Fallen of Albaz. So we shuffle these two. Okay, let's see. We're shuffling those two and bring out your Mirror Jade. So Mirror Jade's out, and then now since we sent Edge of Chain, don't forget, guys, to resolve Edge of Chain. Even though if it's, I've been told, even though if it's a cost, it's Edge of Chain just states if it's just sent from hand or field to grave, it's still resolved. So it's gonna add your Fight for Patchwork. I mean, either way, it doesn't really matter because I mean we have a loaded hand. So yeah, Fight for Patchwork. But that's that's why it's really, really good. I mean, you still maintaining what, like 5 cards, and you have 3 monsters. I mean, that's insane. So we got Dramaturge, we got Mirror Jade, and then we have Albion. And then the combo you guys saw earlier, what we can do, we could actually banish the Albion by sending, 1 extra deck monster from your extra deck. So we'll banish the Aluber. Then, that's why we already have it set up for end phase. And then you could use, if you want, you could also use polymerization. You can fuse these two. If you want to overdo it a little bit. You could bring out a Masquerade. All right. And then the Ablib will activate, special summoning, let's see, your Tragedy. Or you can bring out a Luber. And then it doesn't really matter. In this case, I guess, why not? I'll just bring a Luber out, because they could also bring a banished one out, so yeah, I'll bring out a Luber. And then if you want, you can go end phase. We'll go end phase on Albion. setting your red, Brandon red. So you got Brandon red. All right. And then what you do here, whatever their turn is, whatever you have, they're gonna have to pay, or if you want, if they in their draw phase or whatever, you could actually Brandon red to bring another masquerade out, so they'll burn like 1,000. They'll just keep burning. So if you wanted to, so there's 2 plays here, okay? You can go another masquerade or a guardian chimera, okay? So Brandon red, you're gonna add your ad lib, okay? Add the ad lib from your grave to your hand, and then you're gonna banish these 2, okay? This is gonna be for another masquerade, okay? So bring out masquerade, then you're gonna activate ad lib, bringing your mirror jade out, okay? So you have, now you can use mirror jade, and you also could use the dramaturge because a fusion monster was summoned, because you can negate one of their monsters, and now they're gonna have to pay 1,200 every single time they activate card effect. This is really good, especially going up against a heavy combo decks, just to get to where they want to, where they want to go. So this is really, really good. Depending on what deck you're playing, there's times where you don't need there's times where you actually don't want to summon this. You actually want to summon the Guardian Chimera. So let's do that. So then let's see. So the Mirror Jade here, and then you're gonna actually brand it in red, right? We're gonna add the ad lib, and we're actually gonna banish these 2, and then we're gonna actually banish the Dramaturge. Or if you want to keep Dramaturge on the field, that's perfectly fine. If you have other cards in your hand, or other, you know, it doesn't matter, other monsters in your hand, you can use them. But in this case, we're gonna banish these 3, and then we're gonna summon the Guardian Chimera. Now Guardian Chimera will do, you know, chain 1, Guardian Chimera, chain 2, ad lib, chain 3, Dramaturge. Dramaturge will come out, ad lib will resolve, and then your Guardian Chimera will resolve, drawing 1, popping 2. So I guess, I draw the Albaz. So right here, it's just showing you guys a hand right here. Doesn't really matter. But yeah. So that's another way to do, if you want to disrupt plays, that's another way to do it. Dramaturge is really good. I mean, there's a lot of times people have to watch out for it. This is why I love Dramaturge, because the fact that even if they want to link summon, even if they want to like have a starter, right? If their starter result has to involve anything from their extra deck, they have to still watch out for Dramaturge, which is another reason why I love it. And a lot of people are sleeping on this card, and it does not make sense. I mean, this card's really, really good. But I mean, I really have no issues with it. Yeah, I mean, that's it for the little combo tutorials I had. If you guys do want to see this deck in action, I am going to try to, you know, start recording matches at you know, any locals that, you know, will allow me to do it. But yeah, I mean, that's it, guys, for the video, guys. If you guys want to see more, go ahead and leave a comment. If you guys like this video, give it a like, subscribe, and yeah, guys, I really appreciate you guys enjoying my videos. It really means a lot to me. But yeah, other than that, you know, this is your boy, Dano John here, signing out.